So you want a luxury car, but you only have $10,000. And some people say you would be stupid to buy a car right now. If you need a car, you can't walk to work that's 20 miles away. Well, let me tell you 5 affordable luxury cars that you can buy under 10K. The first one on the list is the 2013 Cadillac ATS. Designed from the ground up, the Cadillac ATS is the brand's take on a compact, stylish sports sedan with all the power going to the back or to all the wheels in either a sedan or a coupe. For a car with a V6 and 321 horsepower, it gets surprisingly decent gas mileage at 19 to 28 miles per gallon. Obviously, depending on how you drive. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder gets 202 horsepower and the Turbo 2.0 gets about 272 horsepower. The car can come with a 6-speed manual, which is said to be slick and very quick, or an auto that seems to be as spot on as how the car looks from other auto journalist views.
Nice.
The ATS is more of an aggressive, well-handling and planted luxury car compared to its laid-back older brother, the CTS. The 2.5-liter gets a 7.5 second 0 to 60, the Turbo 2.0 gets 5.7 second 0 to 60, and the powerhouse V6 achieves a 5.4 second 0 to 60, which is comparable to the BMW 335i. The interior is actually a very nice place to be in as well. Cadillac did well making both the exterior and the interior look unmistakable Cadillac. New, the ATS cost around $50,000, but now you can find a good amount of them for under $10,000 with under 100,000 miles. Just a heads up, there have been a few complaints about the automatic transmission, so if that worries you, opt for the 6-speed. They're more fun anyways. Funner? The second on the list is an Audi A5 2.0 Turbo. What a sleek, clean piece of automotive designing. The Audi A5 is indeed a piece of work. The numbers you ask, well, it has 211 ponies and 258 foot-pounds of torque. Not too impressive coming from a luxury car, you might think. But that's just it. Not all luxury cars are meant to be planted with loads of power under the hood, and instead a cabin worth being in. The A5 leads in such a category. You could find the V6 option, but you'll be spending more money and only getting a slightly quicker car with an advantage of only 0.4 seconds 0 to 60 at 5.8 seconds. For those simple folks, like me, that means the Turbo 2-liter gets a 6.2 seconds 0 to 60 with the manual gearbox. The interior will probably be one of the most comfortable and high-end interiors you may sit your butt in, and really does look stunning with the bold manual gear knob planted there. New, the car costs around $39,000, so it keeps its value better than the ATS. Now you can find it under $10,000 with under 100,000 miles. But keep in mind, being an Audi, I do have to warn you, maintenance can be pricey and it does come with German car issues. One of the main issues you'll need to keep an eye on is the cam follower. It's a cheap part and easy to replace. However, if it fails, it could end up ruining the entire engine, which I talked more about in depth in this video, and I'll link that down below if you want to learn more about that issue. W204 Mercedes C-Class from 07 to 2014. Mercedes has a huge lineup full of some of the most luxurious sedans on the market, but being on a budget, we have to look at the cheapest lineup they offer outside of the CLA. Why not just talk about the CLA? Well, that's because they are, well, yeah. That's Mercedes' go at making a cheap luxury car, which isn't nearly as refined as a C-Class. Plus, you'll be sacrificing rear legroom, which isn't all that fun. You have 3 engine options for the C-Class. The C250, which was introduced in 2012 and has a 1.8-liter four-cylinder with 201 horsepower. The 300 has a 3-liter V6 and 228 horsepower, and the worst gas mileage at 17 to 24 miles per gallon with the all-wheel drive option, which only came in the C300. Finally, the C350 has a 3.5-liter V6 and 302 horsepower with a 5.5 seconds 0 to 60. Not bad, and with a 19 to 28 miles per gallon. Of course, there's an AMG model that is triple the price for under 100,000 miles. And that beast has a 6.2-liter V8 with 451 horsepower. In the C-Class, you get twin panel sunroof, dual zone climate control, and an interior worth spending time in. What more can you ask for? You can easily find a 2013 C250 under $10,000 with under 100,000 miles. You'll have to be patient to find a 350 under 100,000 miles in this price range. The biggest issue seems to be the steering lock issue, which prevents your car from starting. The fix seems pretty straightforward and should be fixable by a DIYer, but the new part would have to be programmed by a local Mercedes shop. I'll link the video down below that shows you the process so you can see if it's too big of a job for you to handle. BMW 335i N54. As fast as the previous gen's M3 model, the 335i was introduced to the 3 Series lineup in 2007. The N54 model ended in 2011 with the introduction of the N55. The 335i is my personal favorite out of this list. It has a twin-turbo inline-6 engine and a coupe, sedan, or convertible. And of course, there's a manual option. The engine, well, that makes 300 horsepower, but that can be tuned up to 500-ish horsepower without replacing turbos. So it's somewhat tuner-friendly. Stock, it has a 4.8 second 0 to 60, which makes this car the fastest on the list as well. There is a large amount of aftermarket modifications you can grab, which is just a cherry on top. The drive is also the most aggressive on this list, but the interior is still pretty impressive. Nice wood grain throughout, and it has seats that hug you nice and secure. And who doesn't love that? I absolutely love the red interior. New, it cost nearly $40,000, but today you can find them under $10,000 with around 100,000 miles. The main issue that plagued the 335i, especially the 07 model, was the high pressure fuel pump, so make sure it has already been replaced. If not, it's really not all that hard to replace, but it just cost nearly $800. $800. The final car is the 3rd gen Lexus GS from 2005 to 2010. Conservative, comfortable, and a car that looks basic. And if that's something you're into, well, there's a catch. It's kind of the power sedan of Lexus. The GS series does pack a punch. The very first GS in line was the GS300 with a 3-liter V6. Then the GS430 has the 3UZ FE, which is a V8. The GS350 followed, and finally the GS450H, which is a hybrid option that just gave the car better city miles per gallon. And the GS460 with its 1UR engine, which replaced the GS430. The GS350 made 303 horsepower. The 460 made 342 horsepower with its 4.6 liter V8 and a 5.4 second 0 to 60. And the 450H made a surprising 339 horsepower with a 5.2 second 0 to 60. Can I say this car is a sleeper? Because it is. Overall, there isn't really anything too special about this car besides how powerful it is. The interior is Lexus quality and something you would expect your grandparents to be in. You can find these cars with around 120,000 miles in our price point. They are insanely reliable, and you should see over 300,000 miles potentially with very minimal issues. Besides the GS300, they had issues. The better the video would be spread to more audience that could potentially help them out, and that's my main goal. Out of this list, my favorite is obviously the 335i. It's beautiful, timeless, you can modify it, and it's decently reliable besides just a few issues that you should fix right away whenever you buy it. If you did that, then it would last you a long time with minimal issues. And of course, you gotta get the manual gearbox, especially in the 335i. This is Chris from AutoMotivate. Always appreciate and respect one another. I'll see you next time. Oh, and check out this video.